thank you for coming back. We really appreciate it. We are going to do a little bit of a review of what we did last night. And so we're going to kind of just try to remember what we did and some of the really main key points about Shaklee that we just kind of want to review together. So we're going to be doing some interactive stuff right now. Just what do you remember and what kind of things come to mind as we ask these questions. So Rob and I are going to kind of go back and forth and remind you about what we learned last night. We'll start off with.
First question is the Shaklee difference. Anything that you remember from last night? Anything that stood out?
Yeah,
must benefit a cell, must not harm a cell.
I love it. Good job.
That was my favorite thing.
A.
Must be. That's awesome. Yeah, A+. That's awesome.
Anything else?
That's awesome.
Anything else you guys remember?
All natural.
All
Right.
natural.
That's the other thing. There were like 4 things. There were 4 things you rattled off. 2 of them she just said. There was Oh, one more. There were 2
okay.
more, I thought. Right? All natural.
In harmony.
That's it. In harmony with nature.
Yeah.
There you go.
And clinically proven, right? Those are your 4, Marty,
Right?
that
Is
you
it
rattled
4?
off.
And then the 2 she said.
So,
Yeah.
It's one of the longest operating too, right?
Yeah, well, the longest, yeah.
60
So we,
years, yeah.
yeah, 60 years the company was actually started, but Dr. Shaklee actually created the first multivitamin when?
1915.
Awesome! Wow! That's incredible!
I can leave now.
Yeah.
Good.
Great job, great job. Good. So yeah, over 100 years ago, so Dr. Shaklee created the very first vitalized minerals.
I like to use the
ever.
concept that he pioneered the wellness industry as we know it today.
So remembering that it's always safe, it always works, and it's always green. Never harms a living cell, only benefits living cell. Right from the product you're taking to the packaging that it's in, everything is safe. So
That's where I used the which products to use sheet. You remember I asked you some questions on that? I asked them some questions. Who do you know that uses products like those?
Yeah.
So the question is, who do you know who uses products like those?
Everyone? Everybody?
Everybody? Okay, so from a business standpoint, that's your market. You don't have to have all the business in the world, but you have access to a huge market to pull in. The other question is that how many of those products, if you were to look at brand X products, you're going to the grocery store, running them down the aisles, how many of those could you say are verifiably, unconditionally safe for your health, safe for your environment, will improve your health, are clinically proven and unconditionally guaranteed to perform and get results? Yeah.
and on top of that, it's your own Shaklee store.
So
That right there is your own store. You make your own store.
Right.
All the things you would buy, it's giving somebody else the benefits of that. You're giving it to yourself instead.
so we differed in how to exactly ask this question. We talked about trends, we talked about opportunities, but what are the 5 key product lines that we talked about? Cleaning,
Ooh, good. Cleaning. What else?
home,
Healthy nutrition.
skin, nutrition.
Weight management.
Weight
Weight.
management. And somebody said skin, beauty.
I said skin.
Yep.
Skin.
Sports.
Sports is another one that falls in the healthy nutrition line. And then one more. Oh, the life plan, which is like nutrition, but they actually consider the life plan, since it's your foundation for health, they consider that actually a separate. So here it is right here. So we have the Shaklee Life Plan, Healthy Solutions. So this right here by itself, this right here is what they say, foundation for health. You get anybody on this is it. Now there's other things to add to your health to make it, better, different ailments, things you might need, issues you might have with your health, you can add to that. This here is the core plan. That's why they have it, Shaklee Life Plan, its own trend here. Then you have Healthy Solutions, which is what I'm talking about, all the add-ons that you would add if you had heart problems, high cholesterol, anything like that. Then you can add a healthy solution to that program. And then Healthy Weight, Healthy Beauty, and Healthy Home.
What
We have
study
5.
was done to validate the life plan? Do you remember that? What's it called?
The landmark study?
Yes.
But
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was done in 2007.
I know, I just saw that too.
I thought
I
it
didn't
was
either.
It was
earlier.
done with the Vitalizer,
Oh, okay,
and this is the
2007.
new science.
What was it
Just
called
took
again?
it to the next
The
level.
landmark study.
Landmark study, that's the one I think I
I
shared
remember
with them.
hearing you saying that.
Yeah, with the three groups of people that were studied through blood work,
I
through
have to be
Shaklee
one of
users, and he was one of them. So you had to use Shaklee for 20 years. The second group was people that took brand X of any vitamin, multivitamin they wanted, and the third group was no multivitamin at all. And they did that study through blood work and found that Shaklee, over all biomarkers, were increasingly healthier people overall.
The average
Versus-
40-year-old in America is on 7 meds over the course of a year. The average 65-year-old is on 19. And the average age of the group in the Mark's study
For
in the
Shaklee.
Shaklee group was 64 and a half, which I was one of them, and the meds were .06.
That's insane.
Yeah. Well, it is.
It's
insane,
crazy.
yeah.
Crazy.
And a
That's-
few of the
says a lot.
the indicators, people were actually better off taking nothing than taking one of the brand X products.
Yeah.
They're actually
You're
less
better off.
healthy taking some of those.
Because of what's in them, which is why we are here. All of us.
Dr. Shaklee made a statement that I said last night. Do you remember what he said about the products? If people understood what we had, we couldn't make it fast enough.
Oh,
So what does that mean?
Yeah.
Most people don't understand what we have. That's where we come in.
And one of the things in talking about the business, he talked about what are two key things that we need to do from his perspective. Two key things. Remember those?
To build a business.
To build a business.
Use it and tell others.
That's it.
Yes.
There you
Yeah.
go. See, I told you someone
I'm
would
like,
get
I
it.
can remember exactly the word.
So, but
So-
then the second part of the question is, of course, now it has to have three things. Can't just have two things. Do you remember what the three things around growing are?
You share, build.
Use, share, build. Okay.
Yeah. So use the products, see the people. That's what Dr. Shaklee said. And they basically said use the products, share the products, and then build your business accordingly.
We talked about a few different ways that people, and there's a spectrum in this room. What are a couple different ways that people can get started in the business? Some of the different
Ways you can
different
join or start.
starter kits, starter packs, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The gold pack.
Gold,
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
a membership.
just a membership.
Basic membership.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. These are three ways you can join, and you would share this with others, with people. So just so you understand, when we explain this to you, this is how you would explain it to other people, that they can join in a variety of ways. They can just be a member. They can join for $20 and just get the 15% off all the products. But these three kits, right here, I'll waive the membership. There's no membership with these 3 packs. So, and then the life plan here generates a $100 coupon. Some of you actually use that. It's an amazing thing. So while the life plan is the most expensive plan, costly plan with Shaklee, the best, most comprehensive plan, it also generates a coupon that's a $100 coupon, and you pay $10 for product instead of $100, up to $100.
When you're
So
on auto ship.
when you're on auto ship, that's the important thing. So you have
Can
to
you say that again?
So this product here, if you put it
Yeah.
on auto ship,
Mhm.
and you would tell people this, that when you put it on auto ship, it generates in your system, on your computer, on your website,
Right.
a coupon for a $100 product that you can have up to a $100 product for $10.
Oh,
So you
okay.
could get Vivix, you can get Vitalizer, the other strip. You can get that for $10 instead of paying $85, $90 or whatever it is.
It also does,
Go on, Vivix. Is that what you're gonna say?
no, when you order that on auto shipment, you also get, I'm testing there,
Kickback.
Well, I'm thinking power bonus. I'm thinking like auto ship points.
10% discount.
The auto ship 10%. Yeah, auto ship.
Right.
Anytime you put anything on auto ship, it's an additional 10% to your 15%.
Not all products.
Yes, there's about maybe 8 or 9 products that Shaklee
Right.
offers that have the auto ship option.
Right.
And so you would tell people that too are for you. And so when it's on auto ship, you don't just save 15%, you save 25%. So, and this is one of those products. So not only are you getting the 25% off, you're getting the coupon too. So the people say, gosh, it's expensive. Well, not really. When you think about what you're getting in it, the Vivix is in here, which is, you know what that is. That's a great product. So anyway, that's what that is. So this here falls in that camp. Now let's say that's all they want to do. Well, or they can go to the next step, which is they can become a distributor. Now, if you're a member already, you can upgrade to a distributor for $30. If you're not a member already, then you can just join in at $50 as a distributor. And what the distributor allows you to do, and the distributor, they're putting even here a gold pack that you can purchase for $349. This is the share and earn. So once you're a distributor, you make money, and we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about what that actually means. And some of you are some of you are distributors, and like most of us here are distributors.
I just want to point out
Yeah.
one thing about the distributor thing. Nothing comes with it. So when you upgrade, you get the discount. People can buy into the distributorship and be eligible for the bonus, but none of the incentives, the cash incentives we're going to talk about, come with the distributorship. They come with the gold packs.
So distributor, you can get cash. You can get your bonus from Shaklee, but you won't get the other incentives. That's why we're here today to tell you about that, like Marty is saying. And then you can build a business by actually getting a larger kit. And with all the kits come all the products. So we're going to go through that really quick. So first one would be the $50 distributor kit. You get the product guide, the startup guide, the tools for sharing. You have a link on your website. You would be sponsoring people through your website. You have a little option to sponsor someone. Then you go to the $349 Gold Pack. When you do that, you get product. Then you get a regional conference registration ticket. They do those, I think, twice a year in our area. So you would go to that, and it would be included in your pack. You get 3 months of personal website. We're going to talk on that a lot tomorrow too. But the personal website is really, really nice because you can customize your website and be able to send people a link on your business card and say, here, if you want to order, you can just go to my website and look. Whatever they do, any activity on your site goes to you. So it won't be confusing that they're going to Shaklee.com or something like that. They're going to your actual business site. So that personal website is something, if you don't already have it, let's talk, because you're going to want that. Anyway, so then you get more product with that. Then you go up to another, yeah.
So I just go back in there. When they show the value of $700 for $349, Shaklee's discounted the products to the point that the products fundamentally are covering the $349. So the other stuff is more add-on. So, but there is a bonus attached to this bracket, which
Right. You get
those
250.
points, every product has a point value we talked about, accumulates from the first of the month to the end of the month. Well, they made it such that 250 is where the bonus is paid, so it's an instant bonus when you come on board with this.
Instant, yeah. So it's
So not instant, but it's paid out the
Yeah.
month following.
Yeah, but that 250 is the mark where that's where you
Right.
start earning money from Shaklee. So the next one, 500 points, as we were just talking about points, you can imagine a little bit of a bigger bonus check for that. You get a lot more product. You get 6 months, I believe it is, of the website over there on the right. You get 2 regional conference registrations. The 2 of you can go to regional conference, and you get
2 regional. Yeah.
2 regional and 1 global conference. So you can actually attend the Atlanta conference for free, and so they include that ticket in this pack. And so these are again, you get a lot of product in this, and you get your bonus, and you get tickets. That ticket, that global conference registration ticket alone is, I believe, $249, and that's included in this. So, not including the global registrations, or the regionals, I think are about, I don't know, $50, something like that. So, anyway.
But then you get your website set up.
Yep.
And
6 months
6
worth.
months, so that's $100 value.
So the personal website's $14.95 a month to do the personal website. So they're waiving that for 6 months with this pack here. And the next pack is really the Super Gold pack. A lot of product. You get a whole year of the website, or 4 regional tickets. You can bring another couple with you or 3 other friends, and 2 of the global conference tickets. So that's really worth it too. But that's how that works.
Yeah,
so we just kind of want to
I
go
like
through that.
this one because it's you Shaklee your home all at
Yeah,
once,
that's true.
and then it's tax deductible. You're going to write it all off, which is
Yeah.
cool.
And we're going to talk about that too, tax deductions. I mean, you can. This is tax deductible too because you're building a business.
Shaklee can help you build the kind of business that fits your life today, and it can grow and change as your life changes.
I fit this business into, the little chunks of my day that I can, and from that, I created this great business that I love.
The really cool thing is that you can build your business how you want to build your business, and you can make all those decisions in Shaklee.
I was a social worker at a hospital here in Manhattan, and then I decided, you know what, I want to help people, but I want to do it my way, on my time.
I actually earn a full-time income working from home. I earned double the amount that I was working prior to having kids.
What would our life have been if we didn't have Shaklee? One word that comes to my mind is kind of mediocre.
I saw it not as just an opportunity to make money, not just as an opportunity to help people, but I saw it as an opportunity to help ourselves. We didn't want the daycare to raise our children.
If you just want to earn enough to pay for your Shaklee products, there's a way to do that. If you want more time, more flexibility, more income, more rewards, anything and everything is possible. In just the last 5 years, Shaklee has sent more than 4,000 people on reward trips to places like Hawaii, Paris, and even Bora Bora. Distributors can even earn bonuses for a brand new car, all for doing something they're passionate about.
In 6 months, I earned a trip to Mexico. I've earned a car payment. I have changed so many lives. I've helped so many people.
Bueno, es cuando dije, wow, en 2 meses ya puedo pagar mis biles. El mío, pues fue mi sorpresa que un mes después yo califiqué para el bono del auto. Y esto está increíble.
Just to be at home, have a business, still have an income, and to be able to spend time with Leonard and children. That, it's been phenomenal.
What if you could design your own life? You can, by taking those small steps that add up to life-changing results. Start by using the products and sharing what you love about them. Then, see what you can build for yourself. That's the Shaklee Effect. Join us and be part of the effect.
Okay, you write your name in there.
Okay.
That means that you own your company. It's yours.
Yep.
It's portable. You can take it anywhere all over the place. You write 100 in there because 100 represents points. Every product has a point value to it. Accumulates from the first of the month to the end of the month. And that is where the compensation plan opens up when you do your 100 points. Now you can buy it, sell it, or give it away. Doesn't make any difference. As long as it's under your ID number, ordered through the home office, you're bonus eligible. AS represents auto shipment, and I asked, have you ever gone to the grocery store and forgot something on your list, or forgot the whole list? Yeah. Well, Shaklee has an auto ship program that you have total control over. So you can adjust it, add to it, subtract to it, change the date of its delivery, whatever. So you own it. But I know, like I'm down here now, okay, if I don't get back, something happens, and Lynn's something happens, and we don't order. If I don't get my 100 points, I don't get my bonus. So the auto shipment is a security blanket. So I always put my 30-day use products on there so it automatically comes. And usually at the end of the month I go and I tweak it and change it around, whatever. But this represents, as we start telling the story to people, some people go, well, I don't know if I'm interested in business. You came in as a member, right? Okay? So I want to try this out. I want to see this stuff's real. So you end up with a customer. Okay, now you want a lot of these, obviously, because that's your base. Now these people can bring people and refer people, nominate people, or just, my sister wants to use it, my kid wants to use it, blah, blah. So that can go to infinity. So you can build your personal group volume as large as you want. The concept here is called the Power of One, and it's based on math. Your goal is to find and build a recap. In other words, build a team of people who are going to duplicate what you do. Use the products, see the people, teach the same thing, okay? So this person here would be, if you were going to build a team to play basketball, as I said, you want 10 people on the court and you want to play tomorrow, you've got to make some calls and get it done. Now, if you want to get 10 people over the course of the next 10 months, one a month, according to this example, you can still play ball 10 months from now, right? But the thing is that you're building a team. These are players. So you'd write their name in there. So pick a buddy that you think would make a good partner to you, you'd like to have on a team with you. And you write their name in there. Put the 100 in there and EAS, because they're duplicating what you're doing. And then they're going to go share with people, so you write 25 in there. So we got 100, 100, 25, 25, so that's 250. So and you write 250 over there on the left. I'm breaking the math down, and that's real simple so we can understand the concept. Dr. Shaklee said, use the product, see the people. And this is what we're doing. 250 is when the bonus triggered, paid by the corporation. You must be a distributor registered, and you must have your social on file. This example, month 2, is the duplication, okay? Your buddy goes out and he gets his first partner, and you're looking for your next partner because you're bringing on one in the month. And then you're adding with the people here, the consumers. So if we total this up, 400 plus 100, you write 500 here. The 500 in the bonus structure, Shaklee has a bonus jump. So you go from 4% here, you go to 8% here. Well, you just doubled your bonus. The key is you haven't done any more on your 100 points. So it's not about selling and convincing. It's about using the products and teaching others to use the products. So we don't have to go out and pound doors and sell door to door, And not that people don't do that, and some people love doing that, so I wouldn't discourage it, but it's, as a teachable example, I like to use and share concept better for me personally. So down here now we got 500. Here's what's happened. You just leveraged yourself. So when you work a job, you get paid for the time you work, right? Here, you got consumers, their laundry products running out, their vitamins are running out, they're reordering. So you got a consumable being reordered. So now what you have is that you have leverage going on. So and it leveraged you from 100 from you, now you're up to 500. If we multiply this out, one a month, by the time we get to the 5th month, your grid here is really getting bigger, right? Write cash, car, and trips in there. At this level, which we're going to break down the comp plan, you'll get an idea what I'm talking about better, but the cash will represent anywhere between $400 and several $1,000s. I know some people that make 6 figures at this level just because they got a large consumer base and a few partners in that. But that cash you can use towards paying your mortgage, or put your kids through college, or fund the retirement, whatever. The car is, how would you like to have somebody pay for your car? Shaklee has a car program, so they can pay for the car. And then travel program. So now there's trips available. And at this level, under this scenario, if this occurred exactly like this, how many of you are perfect, right? I have this thing. So it doesn't. You don't have to have all the business in the world, but you're going to average out a growth pattern as long as you don't quit. Never seen anybody fail in this. I've only seen people who quit. And I don't know why they quit, but this is the best deal around. So anyway, the travel, you can earn that. When we run this out to the 10th month, I was asking the girls last night, how much do you think that would come out to? Do you remember? 100,000. And I haven't showed you all the income. I just showed you the base average. And that's residual. But the reality is, if you're consistent, there will be people who move and run and shake with it, like these guys are doing. You know, and you guys seem like you're going to be that way. That can happen for you, and my goal would be to help you get that done. If you were to do this consistently, and you carve out a couple, 2-3 hours a week, you know, and you were to build this and start building this grid of people, in the next 12, 24, 36 months, what kind of income would you like to see starting to come into your household? Okay, so if you look at that grid, everyone jumps to the top, I want that one. But realistically, you know, give and take, people come and go, and the reality of any business has attrition of some sort, but what would make an impact in your household income? Just pick one. You got one? Kara?
Sure.
Which one?
Like where you want to end up, or
Well,
where you
no,
want to be and
let's,
when?
in the next, year or 2 or 3, where would you like to see the income coming in?
At least right.
Okay, so we're talking at the senior executive coordinator level. Here's what's happened in 40 years of doing this. Everybody picks within those 1 or 2 ranks. And the point I want to make here is that I don't talk about the higher amounts because their believability is not there. You want to talk where the belief level is. And then we can build on that. Because I don't want to get pie in the sky. This takes some work. I mean, we have to sit and meet and talk to people. But the least you're going to do is improve someone's health. But if you believe that, and that's your belief level, because you pointed it out, I can build on that. I can help you reach that. And will it happen in 12 months? I don't know. Well, it depends if you get lucky and someone comes in that's really excited. Maybe you have to build it one at a time and get a consumer base, and all of a sudden someone shows up. That lady that came up and showed that 6-figure income, I had started Shaklee in 1975, and she showed up in 96. So I go, was it worth it? See? That's why I tell people never, never, ever, ever, ever quit, but be consistent. You don't have to give up what you're doing, but if you're 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours a week devoted to reaching out and talking to people consistently with your mind to build this thing, like attracts like. And when you're committed, even if you're only putting in an hour, they'll believe in you and they'll join you because it's a relationship business. That make sense?
Absolutely.
So now we're here. There's the bonus structure up there in this grid. And you can see the 250 at 4%, 500 at 8, 1,000 at 12, 1,500. So there's not a lot of money up front. If you're selling at retail, you're making some money, but that's not where the money's at. The money's at where you build the recap, where you bring on these business leaders who become directors and above. And this is your goal. Move here yourself, get the 2,000 plus out the door, consistent with your base. I suggest you build that base and think 3,000, 3,000 to 5,000. Get enough customers that are consuming the products that you're utilizing, 3,000 to 5,000. My goal was to get the car. The car required me to have 5,000 points. If you look at senior director, you got to have 5,000 points. You see the car down at the bottom down here. You're getting paid on the car $225 to $250. You have at least one director. You're a senior director. You're only doing your 100, okay? But you're doing 2,000. They're doing 2,000, and the requirement here is that you have to have a car volume of 5,000. So one of you has got to do 3,000, or the two of you have to do 2,500 each, whatever that combination is. As long as there's 5,000 going out the door between you, okay, you get the car credit. So if you miss it 1 month, you don't get the car credit, but you still got the option to come back in and pick it up again. So they want you generating it. But here's what happens: you get 6% on the first generation. So when you spin off this person, so now that on the circle there, okay, and I had to draw the circle as that person down below you on the circle, he develops the director. You got your consumer base of those little circles helping you do your 2, but then you help that friend do their 2, okay? So now that moves you up in rank. That's how you grow in rank here. So we go from doing volume to earning money to building ranks and raising the rank through bringing on leaders. It's a very intricate program because it's the highest paying out there, so it's complicated, and I don't expect you to remember all this and learn it all at once, but...
Okay, I do have a question. Okay, your generations. So with the 6% and 3%. So when you're a director and below, anybody in under your first generation is at a lower percentage. So then when you become senior director, those bump up to a 6 or a 3?
Well, this is what you're paid on their volume. So if your buddy does
Right.
2,000, you get 6% of their volume. So that's $120 you're getting.
Right, but that doesn't start until senior. So it's lower before.
Well, you're
There's
getting
no-
0 here
Okay,
because there's no director there.
okay. Got it.
Clear as mud.
It'll clear.
Yeah, right. A director is somebody who is generating, ordering through Shaklee, or their team's ordering through Shaklee 2,000 points. Okay? And you have to be appointed. So if you're weak, your upline leader is going to work with you to say, you know, why go out and then end up with somebody who doesn't buy next month and now you're below.
Right.
Get that. That's why I suggest get to 3,000 or higher. 3 to 5 is a good. Set the goal at 5. I like 5 because then you never have to look back. I went to 5 in my first 90 days, and we've never been under that in 45 years. So that's stability. I've never had to worry about this. So that's why get as many. Go get 30, 40, 50 customers as fast as you can get them. You know, but build your team simultaneously. So there's a product process and a business process, which we'll talk about. But this is the recommended qualifying volume to become a director. Then you become a senior director because you've helped one of your buddies move to director. And that moves you up to this rank. Is that making sense now?
Yes.
Okay. And then you pick an override up on their volume. This represents if they spin off somebody as a director below them, then you're getting 3% on that volume. You may not even know them. They may live in Maine or Canada or Washington or whatever, or Hawaii. But I get 3% on anybody in Hawaii I don't know anything. I mean, it's pretty cool, huh? So now the car's coming into play here.
Understand, you're a distributor. You're not a director, you're just selling as a distributor.
Right.
So that's what this is. So you're covering the cost of your products. You got extra spending money, of course, and so that's a great thing. Being a distributor is great. That's exactly how we all start.
That's where the gold bonus comes in.
Just you mean they're the director?
No.
You're saying, okay, go on.
The gold bonus, if you buy a gold pack, now you're eligible for gold bonus. And there's 3 packs in the gold pack choices. $349, $649. Was it 10?
149, yeah, 1049.
Okay. If you sponsor somebody, let's say you move up to director or to gold. How long you been a member now?
Probably 7 months.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
Something like that.
So you move up to gold and you upgrade to gold. So now you're eligible for gold bonus. So then let's say you sponsor Shelley, and Shelley comes in and she's going to come in as gold 349. You want EFT set up right away because that Shaklee will pay you $50 when she purchases that gold kit. And if you have EFT, it goes in every week. Okay?
What is EFT?
Electronic fund transfer.
Okay, great.
Okay? And then it'll deposit your bonus check too. Now, if you bought the 649 kit, you get $100. If you're not a gold, you don't get it. It rolls up. So you want to be a gold.
So can you start and just, you know, like I've been a member for what, 10, 12 years, I don't even know.
Distributor.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I
So
am,
you're
right?
a distributor, but you're not
But
a
you
gold
never-
in
you
there.
never-
No, can you do that anytime? Like, can I just like keep where I'm at for now? Talk to some people, and then if I decide, hey, I want to do the other thing, do that, or is that not?
You have
Just start
control.
at the beginning.
Let's
You
say you
know
got
what I
somebody come on and you show them this and they want to become a gold. That'd be an ideal time to upgrade your gold because,
Yeah.
so you
Okay,
get
could
that
you
money.
get the
see?
bonus? I see what you're saying.
Okay? Or unless you want the products that come in the gold pack and you're going to order them anyway,
I'm just gonna-
might as well order it in the gold pack and
That's what I
upgrade and
did.
be ready.
I did the Go Pack and I used it all up. I mean, I've used that
Yeah.
stuff.
Right, right.
Everybody has their logic. I don't try to push anybody anywhere. I just say, you know, where are you at? Take a look, and you got to decide. Like we saw a couple yesterday, and they're going over all this that we shared, so they're going to come back with what they want to do. So, and you love them where they're at.
And director. So you can see in the bottom, it goes distributor, director, coordinator. So basically every level, basically what Marty is saying, every level you go up, it changes, you get more, the money goes up, the incentives go up, you get, you know, the trips go up, the car payments go up, you can see that in your
Well,
sheet, too.
let's just walk through this now.
Yeah,
You did
sure.
distributor. Go to the director. Okay. So now, the director, and Ira said 3,000. I get to that. If you get 3,000 points going out the door, and you do that for 6 consecutive months, you and your hubby are going to San Francisco, all expenses paid, to the home office and dinner in Napa, yeah, which is cool trip. So that's as soon as you make director, then you've got 12 months to get to 6 consecutive month done. So let's say you come on in January, but you don't get to 3,000 until March. Then you hold it 6 months in a row from March, and that's when you qualify. And then the next new directors conference, you would qualify for it. Okay, but you got to be a director. You got to hold your rank. Because if you quit, you lose, right?
What could you advance in rank, or do you have to stay at that rank for 6 months?
You can advance as far as you want. Just
Okay.
get you more
Yeah, as fast as
recognition
you
when you
want.
get out there.
Yeah.
Be prepared.
So you don't have to hold it for 6.
You have to.
You have to be a minimum.
2,000.
You
No,
have to
but
be a
I mean,
minimum.
like, you can
Be a
keep
director
going
and keep going
up.
up. Yeah.
Right, you don't have to.
You have to
right.
They
hold
never
that
have to
point
stay.
there.
You can
Okay.
get as big as you want.
I could, yeah, you could be, you
This
could
is-
rank, quickly as you rank up as fast as you want.
If you
That's a
jumped
fast
up the
track.
whole ladder and that, believe me, they're going to have you talking on stage. You good with that?
Yeah, they will.
You
No,
can handle that,
no,
right?
no.
Passed on that part. I was just curious because when I was reading the fast track, I was a little confused with that. I was like, oh, you have to stay at that? So I thought you were kind of being held back for a certain
It's
amount
really
of time.
cute to see somebody out there that gets recognized and they go, I don't know how I got here.
Yeah, it is. A lot of
Because
people do
people
that.
enter and move
I
so
know.
fast, it just drives them up.
Yeah.
And that's part of the fun of the package too.
Yeah.
You know? This rank here, if you want to go to Cabo next year, then you want to get to this rank. And if you look in your grid where it says coordinator, you'll see that it has 2 levels. Let's look at the dream brochure because I think it lays it out better. So what do we got? Coordinator here, they've got 2. See, this is your generations. Okay. All right, so you want to get there, you have to break out and then hold that for 4 consecutive months. And you have to be at least a senior director on the last month to qualify to get the trip, but you always want to keep moving forward. But that's going to send you in one
And you
other
have,
person.
and you have all year to do that. So here we are kind of at the beginning really of 2017. So all of 2017 you have to be able to qualify
Right.
for this trip. So that's what I know revenue.
So here's the neat thing: you're moving up. Let's say you qualify for director, you go to San Francisco, and then you move up to coordinator. You qualify for that, so now you get a second trip. So the executive coordinator, what does that say? How many you got to have for executive coordinator?
3.
No, Chanel's got it.
Executive coordinator says 3. Okay. You see this here that says volume outside? They want you to build strength. So you can't bring on one person and then they do all the volume and then you get the stuff. You can bring on one person who's really your strong person, but the outside leg that they have there, that's separate volume. That prevents unjust enrichment. Okay? So you need to produce on your own right. So your whole group outside that one strong leg counts towards your 10,000 that it says there. Okay? So that's a caveat that's in that program. Self-preservation for you and your team. But then you can see that your percentages at first and second level have gone up. And you're getting into a thing which we call that 2% there, it's infinity bonus. And that's more money they add on. Now this ideally is where you want to, I put this up when I decided to do the business. I posted it in my office. You tend to get what you think about most. So I wanted to teach my subconscious to give me what I wanted. So when we moved up to this rank, and that one of the nice things is that when you build a business here and you have strong base, when my son was born, we were at the key coordinator level, and we stayed there for 15 years. And I was home for every movement of that child, which was cool. So I hardly did anything with the business, but still collected a 6-figure income. And we stayed there. When he got off to college, I looked at my wife, I said, we're ready to go, let's rock and roll. 8 months later, we moved up to that. And that was going on our 11th year as a master coordinator. But it can create a really nice income. First step is let's get an organization of consumers going. And I said there's 2 avenues. You know, there's you, and then there's the product process, and then there's the business process. Well, the product process are consumers who are ordering and using the products. The business process are the builders who are building their own team. These people you have to invite to take a look at the whole show. I like to tell the whole story, like we did yesterday, so people can select what's important to them, where they can start. I found if I talk only product, then I end up with a product customer who typically never tells anybody. So I want the whole picture. So does that happen all the time? No. If I've got your mom who's got diabetes, she could care less about anything else than what's going on with her. And it's all about them. So we work with her and help her do that. And she gains benefit. Good question to ask people to say, well, you've got some results with the products. You seem to like the products. If you were going to share this with anybody, who would be the first 3 people you want to know about it? And I go, my sister, my aunt, my brother. Okay. So now you've got a nominator. And then they're going to bring you people. They may never do the business, but the goal is to get to their team. I've got directors in my group that came from the 17th level. None of these people did the business, but this one down here did. It's when everybody has their timing, their needs, their wants, their interests. Concept here is to build the volume first. Now they used 1,000 as an example because that puts you at halfway to director, and you've got a nice consumer base. You might have yourself a couple partners in there, you know, but you're building this organization, this team. So, and some of them may come through the product process, some may come through the business process. We were at a restaurant a weekend, and I had 2 weekends ago, and I had a waiter, nice guy, really liked him. I didn't say anything to him until he brought the check. Then I used a system called FORM. Family, occupation, recreation, message. It's a discovery interacting with the person. So, and you don't even have to mention Shaklee. Can I ask you something? You're really nice. I like your personality. You know, are you married? Do you have children or anything like that? Yeah. How many kids you got? Oh, what's their names? You know, how old are they? And I learn about them. What do they like to do? And you know, from young to whatever. So I'm learning about them and I'm listening. My antennas are up because I'm looking for needs and wants. Because it's about them, right? So when I ask them, well, what do you do for work and that? Well, I'm a dental assistant, or I'm a teacher, or I'm a blah, blah. And how's that going for you? You like that? Well, it has its good and bads. I mean, if you had your choices of doing something else, what would you do? And now you're here in their dreams, see? When's that going to happen? Probably never going to happen. See, so people's dreams are... So I'm listening to that. What do you do for fun? Recreation. I'm gonna see if they're athletically inclined or they like to read. You know, because if they're readers, we've got a lot of information to read, you know. If they're athletic, we got the perfect stuff for them athletically. So I'm learning about who they are. And then the message is, I always start out, can I ask you a question? And this young man that was waiting on us, when he told me that he was married and that his wife was pregnant and the baby was due in 4 weeks, and I said, why are you doing this? And he says, well, he'd done it before, but now he was doing it again because he needed to make money to pay for daycare. Second job. And I asked him, I said, if there was a way that you could get a residual income without giving up what you're doing, what would you say? I'm in. I said, I don't hand my cards out because when I hand my cards out, they go in the circular file. People can't even remember who it is. And so I asked him, well, give me your information, your contact information. I'll get a hold of you, text you or something, and we'll get together. I'll show you what I'm doing. And so he immediately wrote it down for me. Now, if they're not going to give it to you, they're probably not going to open up to you. So you don't want to beat your... And usually when that happens, I would say, well, it sounds to me like the timing isn't right. So I never close the door. But I say that to him, and I go, is that a fair statement? And he's like, yeah, I've got this schooling, I've got this job, I've got this family coming in. And I'm listening because I'm trying to figure out how far out we are to getting together. And I've said to people, it sounds to me like we're about 5 or 6 weeks out before we can sit down and chat. Is that a fair statement? And they go, yeah, probably more like 6 weeks. And I said, well, would you like me to contact you in about 6 weeks and just see if it's a good time to try to sit down and talk? And usually I'll take a no into, yeah, let's do that. Now, does that mean that's going to happen? They may change their mind, something happened, they might move, I don't know. But the thing is that I said it in my phone reminds me, called Tommy at, 608, where we had a chat, and I'll make notes, and I'll follow up on it. And that's how I get my leads. So there's a way of getting leads all the time, anytime you're out. Because they say the average 19-year-old knows 2,000 people. So your assignment when you leave here today, if you're coming back tomorrow, is I want you to start a list. And prejudge nobody. Because we have not a clue what their interest level is. You may think, and they may have a totally different thing they never told you about. So you just write names, because when you write a name, if you write Tom down, all of a sudden, oh, I remember his sister, Shelley. So then you write Shelley. Okay, Shelley had a friend named George. Okay, there's George. You may never know where they're at or see them or anything, but the thing is you're working on your reticular activating system, your memory, recall, and then you're going to start bringing this up and you're writing these names. And you're doing it for a couple reasons. It's your base to work from, and also it's a teaching tool. Because if you did it, then you can ask someone else to do it, right? And I don't ask anybody to do anything I haven't done. So it's the duplication process. So that's critical. There's ways to get to director. Through the consumer base is one. You can do all the volume with just your consumers. You can do it with team members, and you can see they can do it in a variety of ways. You got some people that are bonus interested, and they'll pay for the use, and they're interested in the tax advantages. And that, you got a tax advantage sheet, right? Or a tax sheet?
I do. It's outdated, but it gets the point across. It says VCR on there. Anybody have VCR still that they use?
I use that sheet because we recommend the book.
Yeah.
Because the book's current, but this thing triggers the discussion.
So as soon as you're a distributor, this stuff, right? It's a distributor.
Once you become a distributor, you now own your business. You're now eligible for the tax advantages. And they say there's like 300 legal tax advantages that a major corporation would get. You now have that accessibility to it.
Examples of that would be, you are out to lunch with a friend, you just happen to mention Shaklee, start talking about it, you get to write off that lunch. So anything you do Shaklee related, your office space, printer, your computer, anything you're using, telephone,
insurance.
I'll write off.
You want to paint this room? I write it off because it's reasonable and necessary that the home is kept up safe and presentable, professional, right? You
And we
need new
use it for
drapes or
Shaklee
something
meetings.
because that's security.
Yeah.
I mean, you could justify almost anything. I let my CPA figure out what they're comfortable with, and they usually don't take all the advantages that I've listed, but I keep every receipt and I write on the back of every receipt. So, like, we're going to go out to eat tonight. Rob's going to put on there each of your names, and he's going to write on there business seminar training, okay? And that justifies that bill, okay? Now, if you've got kids, now you can figure out how you can start paying your kids. So instead of going out and buying them those gym shoes, you pay them, and then you work from that to pay for those gym shoes, and now you're writing that off because you're paying them that commission. So when he gets over $600, now he's got to do taxes. But taxes on a 10-year-old, you know, on $600 is $1.50, you know. So it's a lot cheaper than you paying $25 on the same money. You see the difference? That's how you can use the tax advantage. And the tax advantages here, just in the beginning, will cover you for that 100 points easily. They say the average tax savings per household is at least around $3,000 to $5,000, and I'm only talking $1,800. You know, $150 a month, right? So now, how much does the products cost you, right? And most people go, well, the products are expensive. Well, you want to buy it retail, wholesale, or get it free? You see? So now they make a choice. So I can't change the game. I can just show you what the rules are. So now, I don't like the 2. I like 25 to 3. I like 5 better. Whatever you put in your head is going to start coming around. If you think 2, you're going to be borderline. And I'll tell you, if you have a process that you're methodically working, you're going to average 75%. That little girl there on the page there that earns us that 10 grand, her husband was 28 years with Sears and he got downsized. And she needed to make some money. And she says, I'm struggling, I can't get over this $3,000. What do I need to do? I says, what's your goal? It was $3,000. So she's only running $2,700, $2,800. And then she'd have to buy in the difference to get to $3,000 for the next percentage level. I said, well, your goal's too low. You got to set it higher. Well, where do you want to be? I want to have this number of dollars. I said, it needs to be at 7,000. 30 days, she was at 7,000. Never seen her under it since. Change of thinking. Okay? So whatever you look in that grid, you want that money, figure it out what it is. Know that if you have a plan, 75%, you're going to get 75% of that. So when you start getting close to it, raise your goal. Always think out there, think out of the box. I got mad at Mary today. Remember?
Which time?
She was over here telling me, well, I don't know if I could do that.
I did.
And that's
I'm
self-talk.
Guilty.
They say the longest distance you'll ever travel is 6 inches between this ear and this ear. It's what you're thinking. Dr. Shaklee was a philosopher. He wrote, what you think you do, what you think you like, what you think you are. And it's absolutely true. It begins with thinking.
And I want to add to that thinking was when I was at that 2000 when I was a director, it was many months. I can't tell you how I was hovering. 1897, 1950, not quite 2000. And because I just had that thinking in my head, I just want to get to 2000, I just want to get to 2000, you know, it's having that kind of thinking. And Rob said, have an event, just have an event. Mary, every time you're in front of people, every time you do something, there's always advantage to that. And he's right. So, and so now of course, I've learned that. But every time you're in front of people, there's never a waste in that. And I would help you with that too. But to say, Marty's right. If you're thinking 2000 is your goal, you're going to be hovering. So just keep building, and you won't look back.
So here we talked about the gold packs, and there's your gold bonus money. So this concept here is a way, if you are talking to people about the business, if they come on with the gold packs and they all bought this same pack, you would earn this gold bonus. So besides the bonus that you're getting, plus the gold bonus, it's a way to pay for your investment in your pack. Even though you're going to consume the products, it's a way to pay for it, okay? I talked about points. If you bring someone on and they buy 50 PV, they become a member, you get 1 point. If they buy 100 PV, 100 points, you get 2 points.
When he's talking points, just wanted to clarify, we're not talking PV points. This is a different program. This is the additional thing. These are power points. This works really well.
But you get the double dip on these points.
You do get to, yeah, you do. You can explain that. It's pretty awesome.
Anytime people buy a product, when they come on board, there can be points. So they're encouraging you to bring people on board and sponsor people. And they're encouraging you to not just sign them up, but to have them start product. And you get 1 point for 50, 2 points for 100, 3 points for whatever. I can't remember it all.
3 points as a distributor or member with a life plan.
Right, okay.
Or a turnaround kit. It says right on.
And then your gold kits, your 359 kit gives you 5 points. The 649 gives you 10 points, and the 1050 gives you 15 points. No matter how you combine that, every time you get 15 points, and you guys are in the run right now, for the next, it goes from the first to 90 days out, okay? So what's the end month? End of March?
Yes, end of March.
Every time you get 15 points, you get $150 put in your EFT, okay? So if you sponsor someone with this, you get 15 points, boom, it's gonna show up. And if you sponsor, that's going to show up. These two get deposited in your checking account weekly. The way to make money. This is not where the money's at. This is just to help you begin building your business. Shaklee's trying to stimulate that growth.
So, that said, there's a gold pack and there's the PowerPoints. Let's say you sign somebody up with a gold pack at this package. Let's just say this package. You get $150 because they did the gold pack, right? Well, also, because it was the Super Gold Plus pack, you get 15 sponsoring points right off the top. So you're taking $150 plus $150. You just made $300 on that. That's extra money that you get in addition to your bonus.
So if you sponsor this person, you're going to get 1 point if they did 50. But this guy comes on with 100, you get 2 points. Okay. Now, if they like the product and they put it on auto shipment, after 90 days, or 3 months on auto shipment, whatever combination that is over the next 12 months, they take those 2 and they turn it into 4. So now you can get more points. Remember, we're earning points to go on the trip, right? So there's a way of getting points. So if someone come up here and they bought the distributor kit with that particular pack, then you can get 3 points, and if they put it in auto shipment, 90 days later you get another 3 points. So now we got 6 points. It's accumulation. Remember, 15 points within the 90 days, you get $150.
And when you buy a gold kit, that's when it starts. So if it's March 1st on Wednesday, you buy the gold plus, buy the gold pack, you have 90 days. Plus, I believe you get an additional month or 2 from that because we're in. Shaklee's presently giving everybody this power bonus thing.
I don't believe the points are tied to the gold.
What do you mean?
This is tied to, you must be a gold ambassador to get the gold bonus.
I see what you're saying. You don't need to be gold. You don't think you need gold for those? Okay.
I don't believe that you have to be gold ambassador
I'm gonna
for
ask
this.
you that.
You should have to look that up.
After your 90 days, because I think we talked about this, that once your 90 days are over, when you go up a rank, does it start again?
Every time you move up rank, you get another 90 days.
Okay.
Then you move the director, you get 90 days.
Your question is here on the back. Do you have to have a gold status to earn power bonuses?
And?
It says no, you don't.
Great.
You can earn power bonuses
Thank you,
even if you
Temple.
don't have a gold status. So.
Thank you. Somebody actually reads these.
I'm a reader. You're talking
Yes.
See?
Good.
I do these things because I got people smarter than me in the audience, and they figure it out and teach me
No,
so
I'm
that I
reading
can remember.
ahead.
And the reason that's good is
I
because
thought I read that someplace.
And the reason that's good too is because you don't always have people that buy the gold packs. So you have people that be distributors under you. Well, they have that benefit too, which is a nice thing. That's a nice incentive to get them to get more people on and ordering, and that makes sense too because it's an
Right.
incentive. So this is just another example.
Yeah, 649. You can see now you're getting 10 points because of the 649 kit.
Mm-hmm. But same goes for all of these. So each pack is just different.
Right, 5 points for that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then we go into fast track. Now, before we move on to fast track, back up. Let's make sure that we have not lost people here. We're going to check in with you guys. Where are you at with what Marty's explained so far? And
Well,
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
my question is that since I became a distributor a year ago, then this does not apply to me then, does it?
The power bonus
Because my
applies
90
to
days are up. My 90 days are passed.
You've been grandfathered in. The next 90 days, you can participate.
Okay, so
But Temple has a gold pack already. She purchased her
that's
gold
what I'm
pack.
saying. I'm already.
Yeah.
If you bring a gold person on, you get the gold money.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
And if you do the sponsoring, get the 15 points, you get the sponsoring points.
Okay. So at this point, it's bringing more people on.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. So you're fully eligible to everything we're talking about here.
So when you buy a gold pack, you get that 90 days to do PowerPoints.
Right.
And after 90 days is up, it's over. Well, Shaklee wants to know I will give a gift to the entire Shaklee group, including Marty and Rob and I and you and anybody that's been at a rank for the longest time. We all get to do it for 90 days.
Okay.
We happen to be in that period right now. So we have until the end of March, including you,
Okay.
to do the PowerPoints. Yeah. Does that make sense?
And then when you make director, you get another 90-day run.
I like that also, thank you.
Me
Yeah.
too. Me too.
Not if, he
Yeah.
said when.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't believe in if. What if? When?
So every rank you get another 90 days. Does that stop at any rank or does it keep going?
And when you start making six figures, they sort of say, I don't know.
That's actually probably don't worry about it as much, but yeah, maybe.
I just like to know the
Right.
information.
Every rank, all the way up the ladder,
Okay.
gets 90 days.
If you're making six figures, I don't think you're gonna worry about $150.
Yeah,
I
know,
have
but
to see
still.
the whole picture.
But it makes
or
sense.
things don't
I,
like-
Right.
I sponsor, but lots of
No.
times I'll sponsor people and I'll take the points because it's towards the trip, but I'll give the person to somebody else. And I try to build the legs and strengthen them because I've got a consumer base that does, $7,000 to $10,000 a month consistently. That little girl there that's on that recap of ours, she runs 10, 15, 20,000 a month. She's got somebody in her group, that little naturopath, she runs 30 to 50,000 a month. I mean, so there's people who can do big volume, and also bring on and build a recap. So nobody restricts you. Work is hard and you get paid.
Anybody else have any questions? Clarify.
Okay.
I'm going to pass this around too. This is the 2018 the Dream Incentive Trip. These are the points. Now that we're on points right now, just want your
We haven't talked fast track money yet.
No, we haven't. But this is the sponsoring points we were just talking
Right,
about.
okay.
This is about sponsoring points to get on the trip. So, can you explain the Los Cabos thing? Because
Well-
we know coordinator. We know we have two legs underneath us to be able to.
Here's the thing about Cabo, you got to be a coordinator. Okay, and whatever that says in that grid, you got to have that done. And if you move from where you're at today to coordinator, you have to hold that, I believe, for 4 months consecutively within the qualification period. And then you have to you collect points, and I think the coordinator, if that's all you did was sponsoring points and coordinator points, you would earn, I think, 205 to 305. They've got a max on sponsoring. You have to have at least 10 personally, and you have to have 50 points in your group, and there's a maximum point category in sponsoring of 100 points. So you've got sponsoring category, you got rank category, and there's another category which is totally confusing. The outside leg thing.
If you go to coordinator in end of October, beginning of November, because there's not 4 months left in the year, can you continue to maintain it up to the trip and still go?
We were talking about that earlier. We think.
If you're at the end and you don't get the 4 months within the qualification period, then what they'll do, as long as you're holding the rank over the next trip, then you're going the next trip. So they're not going to take it away from you as long as you maintain the rank. It's just that they've got this set because they have to make reservations and blah, blah, blah,
Okay.
So they fill them up with bodies and that. So, but there's categories, and the reason to go to higher points, 500 points, as you see in there, gives you $1,500. So you get your trip for you and your spouse or partner, and if you're at 500 points, they give you $1,500 cash to spend any way you want. So if you wanted to bring your children, you can spend it that way. If you want to go and put a down payment on a car, when you get home, you can do it that way. It's your money, which is cool. Okay. So the reason to get to 500 points, that's where the other two categories come in. Fast Track is a cash rewards to motivate you to move up as fast as possible. And for people who want to really run with this, they can get additional cash. So what this says is that you're a director, and when you move up to senior director, okay, and you hold that and you qualify, Shaklee's going to send you a $1,000 check. So if you got the senior director and you hold it and qualify, you're going to get more money. That's in addition to the power bonus. That's in addition to the gold bonus. It's in addition to your regular bonus on volume. This is a cash one-time check. But what's interesting is that here's an incentive to help you help your people. So you're going to help Diane move to senior director, so she gets the money. Diane gets the directorship. She gets $1,000. Shaklee's going to pay you a matching bonus, $500. This is one time. This can be for as many people as you develop. Now, there's a requirement on that. It's time frames. Okay. Once you make director, you got 6 months to get up to here. And then once you get to senior director, I don't know if it's 3 or 9. I can't remember. And then there's a month. So it allows you. Now, let's say you don't make this one time-wise, but you make this one within the time-wise. You don't get this money, but you get this money. So, and you can work your way up, and it has a lot of value. I mean, there's like $90,000 in there. And this here is as you're building your team. If they do it within a time frame, that can come to you. I've got people in my group that have earned $100,000. So the key coordinator requires you to have 4. And if you look in the grid, it shows 4 on there. Your organizational volume's 50, but to be a key coordinator, you can see the outside leg requirement. What does it say there? I think it's 25, right? Okay. So you got 1 leg, and then you got 3 others. These 3 others have to make up 25,000. Because this one strong leg is making up the other 25 or whatever. So the Fast Track reward on here, it's paid out over 10 months. So it's worth $15,000 to you. So over 10, once you qualify, then over 10 months, as long as you hold it, you're going to get $1,500 a month for 10 months until it's paid off.
Yeah, I found it, and I can print this off for anybody that wants it. The Fast Track, it's basically senior director by 6 months, coordinator by 9 months, senior coordinator by 12 months, and it goes on from there. So
That's from the time that you make director.
Yep, exactly. It's from the time you make director. So from director to senior director, 6 months you have, and you can get all the benefits. And it actually has a very detailed chart of all the benefits you get with Fast Track. So I wish I had seen this before.
So that's why I encourage you, if you're going to run with this business and you make your list, tomorrow we're going to profile us because I want you to start identifying who are going to be your key players. Because if I can put a team together of 6 people, you got to have 6 first levels to be a master. Now we can start building down line and directly. We teach the same thing. Mm-hmm. Maybe we can create the duplication process enough so that we can get you into that money.
So I'm going to show you a little video here, and then any questions you have as a result, I'm going to do a couple of things yet. We'll be talking
In
about
any new relationship, you look at reputation. With Shaklee, 60 years of unquestioned integrity, plus the quality of our products, have produced the kind of stability other home-based businesses can only dream about. Shaklee has been in business since 1956. There are Shaklee businesses that are 20, 30, even 50 years old. Some have been handed down over generations. And the average Shaklee consumer has used our products for more than 10 years. Since 1956, we've paid our distributors over $7.2 billion, $2.2 billion of that in the last 10 years. In 2013, people at the entry-level rank earned, on average, over $10,000. People at the highest level earned well over $600,000. Month after month, year after year, people use our products, share their experiences, and reap the rewards of building a Shaklee business. Under CEO Roger Barnett, Shaklee sales have doubled in just the last 10 years. And The best is yet to come. Not long ago, nutritional supplements were a niche market for bodybuilders and weekend warriors. But today, supplement use has spread across North America. Half the people in the U.S. alone make supplements part of their lives. In 2013, the natural nutrition industry grew 11% to $153 billion as more and more people look for ways to stay healthy. The market for nutritional supplements grew 7.5% to more than $35 billion. And forecasters say that rate of growth will continue to over $60 billion by 2021. And Shaklee, the #1 natural nutrition company in the U.S., is at the forefront of creating healthier lives. Dr. Shaklee started his company because he was tired of treating sick people. He wanted to help people stay well. That's why we're here. That's the future. And that's the Shaklee effect. Join us and be part of the effect.
People have asked me over time, like, okay, so what help do I have doing this? We're going to talk specifically about like how to approach people and that kind of thing. What do you do? How do you talk? How do you interact? What do you do when they say no or they are not interested? How do you handle that? This here is a slide I threw together because I cannot tell you how much these new tools have helped me build this business. We've tripled our business since Chicago because of what Shaklee has allowed and how it's helped me to build by doing these events. We have so many different options. Again, we'll break it down in more detail for anybody interested tomorrow. And again, we'll have a lot to cover. But I want to just make sure just a snapshot of it, that first there's a Shaklee Connect app on your phone. It's a Shaklee Connect where it gives you the details on your PV. It gives you details on the on bonuses that are coming to you. It tells you who's ordered in your team. It's a really cool app, and you can have a notification on your phone that says someone just ordered. So really great app to have. I love it. Is that?
Yeah, it was funny because my mom made her first order, and I was at work and I saw it come over on my phone. I was like, oh my god! And then she texted me immediately.
I did. I'm like,
she
did. Oh, both of us.
Yeah,
Oh, you did. Congratulations for your first person. It was awesome. Yeah. So it's really, really fun. We just love having that app.
Even our president wrote me a note and said, "Oh, Mary and Rob have earned power bonus in that. Congratulate them." So here I am.
Yeah. Right down here. I mean, the president, literally sent you a note. I mean, it's so personal. It's so much like a family. So it's really, really exciting. So you have the Shaklee Connect app. You have Shaklee Hotline News. They offer you to be able to listen in on new products that come out, so you can understand what they're selling and what products they have and how you can share with other people. They have the Health Print. Have you guys used that yet? That's a really cool tool. You send somebody a link. 5 minutes it takes them to fill it out. They fill out the health print, you get the results. So you know exactly how they answered. You even know how much they said they can afford per day. Literally, it's right in front of you. So that health print, if you can get that health print out to people, that's really, really going to be a helpful tool for you as well. So we'll talk more about that. But really, really, they did a great job with that health print. Shaklee Social. Oh my goodness. It is like a Pinterest board where you select all the topics you're interested in, and Shaklee will literally design this board for you to be able to share links with people on all different topics that they have that have to do with heart health, or it has to do with high cholesterol, or it has to do with working out. And they literally will give that, and you can share it in your social feed. You can share it through Facebook. You can share it through Twitter. I think Instagram is the only one you can't share it with because they don't have the same platform. They have a different platform. LinkedIn. You can share on that way. So that's really a great tool to have. The health chat, you're going to be seeing more and more of this coming out. The health chat is where you're going to literally be chatting with people about a topic in health. So, for example, February was Heart Health Month. The topic is going to be interacting with people about heart health. So it's very interactive on that too. So this is going to be very helpful for us. Naturally blog. Love this blog. People have a question about anything. They want recipes for their smoothies. You go to the Naturally blog, you just type it in the search, and up will pop all these recipes for smoothies or other kind of recipes or other topics, anything having to do with living naturally, which is called the Naturally blog. So then you have this personal website I mentioned to you. Again, you had to pay for that service, but it has been so helpful to us. This is where you're getting all the tools that I'm giving you. You have access to everything that Shaklee wants to do to help you with your business. So you get tools, you'll get slides, you'll get fast track information. Anything you need is out there. the resources they have, every product has a product sheet you can print off at home. Make your own little books up like I do if you want to do that. But really, really helpful to have that personal website. The biggest help in that is that you can send people to the link. So you can literally tell people, like, here, you can order, here's my link, and then people order right off your site. And then, of course, we have more marketing tools. We have the regional conferences, annual conference coming up in Atlanta. The Atlanta conference is in August. The training, Shaklee University, amazing tool. It is like college, Shaklee College, just like it sounds. So you can get information on how you go about approaching people, how you do this business. So Shaklee University is a tool that is that you get with your website. So, and I mean the Shaklee, your regular member site. As long as you're a distributor, you have access to the Shaklee University. Customer service and nutrition service. There's a customer service line that's fantastic. You have any problems, any issues with yourself or your team, they help you. They will turn things around for you. They'll do the best they can. If they can't help you, call me. I'll call Marty if I need help from him. But customer service is really fantastic, and it's 100% guaranteed. They also have a nutrition line. Let's say you have a question about what ingredients might be in something, or someone asks you a question about what's in the protein bar, and you don't really know how to answer them. You call the nutrition line, they will tell you. So it's really, they have great, great help. Healthresource.shaklee.com, wonderful website. You want to find out ingredients. Somebody says dextrose, somebody says guar gum, somebody says, some ingredient that's in something that they're really concerned about. You can go to that healthresource.shaklee.com, and there's an ingredient glossary. You can just type the ingredient, and there's hundreds of ingredients. It's the ingredients that are in Shaklee products. They say what they are and why they're in there. Very, very helpful resource. Any topic you want to know about, digestive issues, colon issue, anything like that. You want to know about breast cancer. You want to know about hair. You would type it in the search engine of Health Resource. Those are the Shaklee scientists that put that information together. So you have so many tools.
So, say someone comes up to you and says, I have this issue with this, I have eczema or I have asthma or whatever. Could you just, because I have no idea what to recommend. Like, I wouldn't have the first clue. Go into this, type all that in. What would you suggest someone with asthma? What products would you suggest for someone with asthma?
You would just type asthma in the search.
And it'll
pop up with
it'll show you all the things that you suggest and
yes,
that they suggest for you and why they suggest them, or does it just have a listing of like the stuff?
No, it'll actually have like a written article about what they would recommend for asthma.
Can anybody just go to this? Like,
anybody
go to the website right now and type that in and
anybody can type it in. Yep. So you can go there and they can get information. So it'll say asthma, and then up will come articles that Shaklee scientists have written, or people of Shaklee that have written these articles on asthma, and it'll come up with products in the article that'll say this is helpful for this reason. So it's a really, really great tool, to have. So
okay,
I want to go out there and look at asthma with you now.
I'm totally
that's close to my heart. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go in and type in my weird injury and see if it suggests something for it. I don't know if it would.
Maybe.
I have no idea.
Maybe.
Figure that might be.
And the nutrition line too. I don't know, make me some. And Marty.
Yeah, well, he told me yesterday. I was just curious because, of course, I can't remember every single thing you told me to do yesterday. But like, if this is here and I don't have to ask him again, I can go and type in this and just see if, why not?
Yeah.
Because I just, to me, this makes more sense than like getting medication. Like, I hate medication. So even for me and like my my kids stuff, you go to the doctor and they prescribe all this stuff, and I'm thinking to myself, great, but I can go to this and try that first.
I just had still a question on the health resource. Can you type in a couple of things and it will kind of marry it all together?
Example?
Like child alopecia. So like, can you gear things to kids? Because I have a lot of people ask me about stuff for kids, and I don't really know in the company how much they can take of what, or what I can really recommend for them outside of the kids line.
If it's real specific, like how much detail, that kind of thing, that's where Marty and I would come in to help you out with that. But as far as like the general topic, it's possible if you put in child alopecia, whatever, it would come up.
We all need food to live, and we need water. We need rest. We need exercise. I know a lot of healthy people that have a rotten attitude, that have miserable health. Attitude's everything. Nutrition, you notice it's different than the food, right? Nutrition's the foundation to our health. The body needs every nutrient, known and unknown, and it likes it simultaneously delivered. Nutrition is the key to health and life. When you eat food, People say, well, I eat food. Okay, well, we have the landmark to substantiate that even though they may be eating a quality diet, they're still predisposed to disease much greater than someone taking supplementation. And that's because you're going to get about 35% of the nutrients in your food. Now, people will argue with that. So we're existing. Now, some people have genetic structure that allows them to smoke until they're 99 and then they're fine. And then some people, are in the room and never smoked and get cancer, okay? It comes down to the immune system. The immune system's all based on this. You have to have rest, because rest is when the body cleanses and rejuvenates, so it's critical in the diet. So if you're pushing yourself, going to work and running around, and you're not getting enough rest, it's going to catch up with you at some point in time. It's going to compromise your immune system, so rest is critical. Exercise is the stuff that's going to cleanse the lymph glands. You get into a fat burn after about 20 minutes of exercise. At that point, then it starts to flush the toxins out of the cells. A lot of people won't exercise and they'll take all this stuff, and then they wonder why they have health issues. So our body was designed for famine. It was designed for exercise. Our ancestors basically lived on food 3 days a week on average. That was it. That's all they ate. But they would run 20 plus miles a day. So you see the balance there? When Shaklee had the winningest bike team as a rolling clinical, when they were first working on sports nutrition and that, those guys lived on Shaklee and ate about 500 to 700 calories in food, because the nutrition was driving everything that they needed. So they just needed enough calories in order to fuel and replace some cells in that. But, okay, when you pick an orange or an apple off a tree, within 72 hours, you'll lose up to 60% of the nutritional value. So how many of us eat fruits and vegetables from a garden immediately after we pick it? Now, if you live in Maine and you lived off your garden, you have the highest propensity to get cancer in the nation, because they don't have any selenium in their soil. So regardless of where you're at, you're going to have some compromising take place that's going to impact your health. Dr. Shaklee's concept was all about in harmony with nature to give the nutrients known and unknown simultaneously to the cell consistently day after day. And that's how we got the results in the landmark study, because this was not compromised. So now your question was?
How to know what you would refer to children, or out of the Shaklee stuff, like what can they take outside of the children's line?
Well, let's start with the cell. The cell has a couple enzymes in it, and one is a protector and one's a receiver. We have the bloodstream, and protein's the key to life: vitamins, minerals, water, oxygen. Those are fundamentally the key things that we need to have in our diet in order to feed this cell. So now you start out your morning. You know anybody starts their morning with coffee? Coffee is a toxin, and it goes to the front of the line. If it goes in your mouth, it must benefit a cell or it's going to harm a cell. If it's not a nutrient, it's going to do something negative to the cell. Coffee's not a nutrient, so it goes to the front of the line. This protector goes and says, I see toxins in there, shut the door, run the stuff back through the organs, cleanse it up, and bring it back again. What happens there is the toxins then get buried. So now you don't get rid of all of it, but you got this trailer coming in. This is why we talk and teach you to eat foods that aren't acidic, because then you want your body a little more alkaline than acidic, so that the body isn't compromised by these things that are rolling around in our diet and the environment and that. So what happens is now this cell is starving and needs food, so it says, bring in, I don't sense the toxins, bring in the nutrients. But what happens is you get a little toxin in the cell, right? Every cell begets 2 cells, and that little toxin gets transferred. But then it goes through the same process, so now we've got a little toxin coming in second and third time. This is the progression of disease, build up in the body. Someone says, I don't know how I got cancer, there's none in my family. Well, we don't know how it got there, but it didn't start yesterday. It started way back in diet, and then you add stress and compromising, and stress is one of the number 1 aggravators to the precipitation of disease symptoms. So if you got stress, then you got to do nutrient input to help compensate for that stress. So going to the child thing, now where do you start? 4 to 8 is about 1/3 of the serving size in the container. 8 to 12 is about 1/2, and then 12 plus is the adult serving. And that's how we handled our child in it. But I wasn't worried about Shaklee, so lots of time I just gave him adult serve. I just might have broke it up and spread it out throughout the day or grinded it up and that, you know. But that's a general rule of thumb in that. And all this I learned from an MD who was the head of the medical school for Mexico. He actually knew Dr. Shaklee. He's been using this stuff in his practice for 45 years. And he tried to duplicate Shaklee's vitamin E and cost him $400 for one bottle. He says, I don't know how Shaklee does it, you know. So, but that's the general understanding foundation of nutrition. So when you're counseling anybody, we're going to asthma and allergies. The first thing I do is that I want balanced nutrition coming into the diet. I want this happening and I want this happening. You want ideally 1/2 your weight consumed in ounces of water a day of water. Coffee's not water. Coffee will actually dehydrate. 1 cup of coffee can dehydrate you as much as 1 to 6 glasses of water. And what that means is it's pulling the water out of the body, so the body's looking for water, so where does it find water? It finds, if you're eating, it finds water in food, so now it puts it in storage. So that whole process begins slowing the metabolism down. You know, so when I consulted and did weight management in doctors' offices and that, we had to literally reverse the metabolic process in the body, and that had to happen with nutrition and diet. But it's painful for a lot of people because they're so used to this habit, trying to change it, you know.
When recommending people that are having difficulty with actually swallowing some of the pills and they want to crush some of them and put them in, whether they're smoothie or anything, which are going to be affected by the smart delivery system and which won't?
Well, anytime you break up the sustained released items, you break up the sustained release.
Is that in all? Are all of them?
No, the B and C combination is the sustained release, and vitamin C is the sustained release.
Sustained release means it falls apart over time. So there's the vitamin C that they have actually takes, I think, 5 hours. Isn't it 5 hours sustained release?
Philip and Mike were asking me about that yesterday, and I couldn't recall. And I was reading the magazine, the product guide, and Vitalea in the strip, it has 100 milligrams within the Vitalea of vitamin C. And he goes, well, why do we need more than the daily value, 833%? Well, the vitamin sustained release C in Shaklee releases 100 milligrams every hour for 7 hours. So there's 100, and there's the other 7. So, and why do you need that? Because it's water soluble, and if you have no stress for 6 hours, maybe you don't need it. So what's it going to do? It's going to help flush the toxins out of the body, because this is a food. It's not a drug like other stuff. He was saying, well, it's just going to get peed out. Not in the case of Shaklee. It's always going to leave the body carrying residue.
So pretty much anything Shaklee you put in your body is there to rid toxins of, like the toxins that are in your body for the most part.
Yeah, well, that's why we recommend that you sort of recommend to people, well, let's do a detox program the first 5 days and get your body sort of cleansed. Because if you just take the nutrition right off the get-go, the nutrition is going to try to do that, and it's sort of like trying to run a marathon when you've never trained for it. So we want to try to supersede some of the pushback. Now, that doesn't happen for everybody, but your mom might be different, you know.
So sometimes people actually feel bad on the vitamins for like about a week. And that may have happened with somebody in here too, where and I would say, hang on, trust me, just wait that week, because literally it's removing toxins. So almost, I don't know if it's because they're more healthy. I'm not sure what the reason is, but it does not happen for everybody. But some people that will feel kind of crummy.
Before we had a detox program, when I first met my wife, I started to run the basic nutrition program. We used to call it Basic 5 back then, which is B, and it was all separated. But anyway, I got her started on that. And I had her in a meeting sitting around the table. She'd only been on the products for 3 weeks. And I asked everybody how they were doing. And she was afraid to say, but she was not feeling well. And of course, dummy me, I go, oh, that's great. She goes, what do you mean that's great? I says, you only got 1 week left, and then everything will clear up. Because we knew historically that it took about 4 weeks to get that detox done so that you start noticing the benefit. Now we can supersede that with this little detox plan.
So here's another question. You do the detox, and then you start your nutrition plan or whatever. Like, I'm going to do the detox, haven't done it yet, but I've been taking these things for I don't even know how many years. So I'm already kind of doing that. And then most people will be like, well, do you have to stay, like, never eat anything bad for you ever again, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, and most people will probably go back to having a treat, eating a piece of cake, or, you know, I mean, not everybody eats healthy all the time. I don't.
My
you know?
mother was a or my wife was a coffee drinker. And she had to go through pots a day. Well, that was a learning curve for her to detox from that. And now she has coffee once in a while. It's not going to hurt her once in a while. What did the Greeks say? Nothing in excess.
Right.
Okay? So that's the way you approach it. So I don't live in a Greek tragedy. I like peace and a glass of wine and beer. And anything you put in front of me that doesn't eat me first, you know. So, but I know that when I have something that is sort of out of balance nutritionally, that I have a tool. The next day I just cleanse. I just relax and do my nutrition and have my water and that, and I'm good to go.
Right.
So you got a tool. That's another thing about this stuff, is that you got a way of managing your health. I like to tell people I design. They go, how did you get 45 years with no antibiotics medication? Well, it's a design. I understand what's going on so I can compensate from that.
Sorry, I had one other question. The probiotic, how it's triple layered, what is the difference with that versus like the powder?
Well, the powder is a food. You got pre and pro, right?
Yep, that's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, it's just like when I have people, they'll ask, well, if this is smart delivery and it's supposed to break up in certain areas, then this one's going straight to my stomach. What's the difference?
Well, the acidophilus bifidus in that stuff there, it needs to be protected to get to the area of need. Otherwise, you lose it before it gets there, and then you can't function properly. The powder doesn't have that problem. It gets there, but what the powder does is it feeds the acidophilus bifidus, and it exponentially multiplies. So we go from 500 million maybe into 1 billion because it's feeding off that live food, you know, that prebiotic, which means that they can go in and then eat the stuff in the colon. Your colon has this ganglia in it, and it's like this. And as we age and we eat enriched flour, you know what paper mache is when you used to make your kids? Well, imagine you're eating pizza and enriched flour and Wonder Bread and all that. Well, it's layering in here like this, like old paint, and it's getting old and old. And then people go, well, I got colitis. You know, 50% of all cancers occur in the colon. 70% of immune function occurs in the colon. Well, you're layering this junk on there, okay, and that's why we detox, especially with the herb legs, because it'll come in from soften this stuff and to get the peristaltic action going so we can get it out of the system. So that food now that we have with the pre and probiotic are working from here, and it's getting in here, and it's starting to break this down from two directions. So the herb legs is coming this way, the pre and probiotic are going that way, so we can accelerate the cleansing process. So that's why we got 5 days. I used to have to do 25 days. 5 days, we can change your system. It's powerful. So we get people on antibiotics, like we talked to a couple that's on antibiotics. I mean, you already heard of the probiotic in that, but you didn't know about the prebiotic. And so we're going to be able to help them accelerate. Because the antibiotics kill the live bacteria in the colon right now.
If you have a son, like say your kid gets strep throat, and they obviously have to go on an antibiotic to get rid of it, you should also double up on probiotics that they're taking.
Yeah, I like to take the pre and the probiotic on an empty stomach in the morning. That's how I was taught initially when it first came out.
Yeah.
So that just gives your body a chance to absorb and utilize it and get it to work in that. But yeah, if you have an antibiotic, you got to do it. You got to definitely do the pre and probiotic to compensate for that destruction that antibiotic's going to do. Because you don't want to compromise and lose your immune system.
I want to ask you a question. So we're going to talk about this tomorrow, but I want you to start thinking about it. Because we're actually going to give you some time to really think about what is your why. Now, out of that, if it comes, you know what, my why is that I want to sell trees. I am so thrilled that we figured out for you that you want to sell trees. Like, that is wonderful. I personally feel like I would like to help you find out what your why is. Because that why is what's going to motivate you to doing whatever it is that you want to do. If I told you, and you see how well you know me, I know all of you. I know you a little bit, but I know all of you. The way that you know me, if I told you I was interested in selling a stapler, like I'm going to go into business selling staplers, and I'm so passionate about it, would you believe me? No, right? If I wanted to sell cups, and plastic cups, gosh, I really love this product. I think I'm going to sell it. Would you believe me? No. My why, as you heard yesterday, was my son. That was my first initial reason for doing Shaklee. It's because of what happened in his life. My why became that changed his life, it changed mine, changed my family. And I wanted to help others. Now my why has become, I want to help other people get healthier. And that is what's been motivating me. That is my drive. It's never been the cash, cars, and trips for me, personally, because I know people got healthier. And that's why I've talked to every single one of you. I love health. We have one body. We don't have another one in a closet. You know, we have one. This is it. So how we treat it and what we do with it, what we feed it, and nutrition we give it, that is my why. Now my why is even becoming more clear, and that is to help you grow and to help your businesses grow. And Rob and I and Marty, we are here to help you do that. And it's something that I believe with all my heart I can help you all do if you want to do that. So I want you to be thinking about what your why is. It is my calling in life, I believe, to help people emotionally, physically, and this is one way of doing it. So I'm going to end with this little video, and some of you may have seen it. It is really, I'm going to show you a minute of it, by Simon Sinek, and I'm going to show you just a minute clip of this. Now I would recommend you watch the whole thing later. I'll put it on that Stevens page, our leader page, so you can see the whole thing, but I want you to hear what he has to say.
And he certainly wasn't the only great orator of the day. Why him? And why is it that the Wright brothers were able to figure out controlled powered manned flight when there were certainly other teams who were better qualified, better funded, and they didn't achieve powered manned flight? And the Wright brothers beat them to it. There's something else at play here. About 3.5 years ago, I made a discovery. And this discovery profoundly changed my view on how I thought the world worked, and it even profoundly changed the way in which I operated it. As it turns out, there's a pattern. As it turns out, all the great and inspiring leaders and organizations in the world, whether it's Apple or Martin Luther King or the Wright brothers, they all think, act, and communicate the exact same way, and it's the complete opposite to everyone else. All I did was codify it. And it's probably the world's simplest idea. I call it the golden circle. Why, how, what? This little idea explains why some organizations and some leaders are able to inspire where others aren't. Let me define the terms really quickly. Every single person, every single organization on the planet knows what they do, 100%. Some know how they do it, whether you call it your differentiating value proposition or your proprietary process or your USP. But very, very few people or organizations know why they do what they do. And by why, I don't mean to make a profit. That's a result. It's always a result. By why, I mean what's your purpose? What's your cause? What's your belief? Why does your organization exist? Why do you get out of bed in the morning? And why should anyone care? Well, as a result, the way we think, the way we act, the way we communicate is from the outside in. It's obvious. We go from the clearest thing to the fuzziest thing. But the inspired leaders and the inspired organizations, regardless of their size, regardless of their industry, all think, act, and communicate from the inside out. Let me give you an example.
I'm going to stop it there. It'll make you want more. But that is absolutely what I mean by that. And we're going to talk more about that tomorrow and figure out what your why is and what you really feel is important to you in your life. Because out of that why will get you through the obstacles, will get you through what trouble and challenges you're having, and it's going to motivate you to keep going. You're not going to stop, whatever it may be, even if it's selling trees or staplers or plastic cups. Thank you. Thank you for listening. This has been awesome.